Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Holiday Break Activity Series. My name is Landon Calderwood, and I am the Youth Outreach Coordinator here at the West Pottawatomie County Extension Office. Today, we are on our second activity, which is called Binary Code Ornaments. For this activity, you're going to need a few supplies. If you do not have the binary code alphabet sheet, you'll need to look up the binary alphabet for both uppercase and lowercase letters online. Have some fun paper or fabric. Here I have some 4-H paper that I printed off. Have at least 3 pipe cleaners. I have 4 here. Have 3 different colors of beads, a pair of scissors, a pencil, and some white glue. Before we get started, let's talk about what the binary code is. The binary code was invented in 1679 by Gottfried Leibniz. The binary code uses the numbers 1 and 0, and we've expanded it to also use only 2 symbols together. Hence the word binary, meaning 2. Binary code is used a lot in computer programs because it is very simple to understand when coding all of those different letters and characters. Before we start our craft, let's all practice together on deciphering a binary code. Now that we've learned what the binary code is used for, let's work to decipher this coded word that I have written for us up on the board. Now, before we get started looking through all of the letters on our binary code alphabet sheet, let's take a second to look at all of our different letters up here and compare them to what's on our sheet. On this first one, we see that it starts with a 010 number. And if we look on our alphabet sheet, we can see that all of the capital letters start with a 010 number. So because of this, just those 3 numbers right there, we know that this is a capital letter. And then similarly, when we look at the rest of our letters, they all start with a 011 number. All of them do. And so based on our alphabet sheet, we can know that that means that all the rest of the letters are lowercase. So just by our 011 beginning code. So now that we have that information, take a second to look through your alphabet sheet and see if you can decipher what our code word is. Our very first letter here that we know is a capital, we can see that it is an H. So make sure to write a capital H instead of a lowercase. And then since we know that all of the rest of our letters are lowercase, we can take a look at our sheet, and we can see that our second letter is a lowercase e. Our 2 following letters are exactly the same, so once we find it on our sheet, we can write both of them in. So our next 2 letters are 2 L's, and our very last letter, again, is a lowercase number because it starts with 011, is an O. And that is our secret word for today, hello. Now that we are all experts in deciphering the binary code, let's make our own binary code. So make sure to get your binary code alphabet sheet with both your capital and your lowercase letters. For this part, you're going to need to decide on a word that you would like to write in binary code. It could either be your name or another word to make your ornament out of. Once you've decided on your word, go through the binary alphabet sheet and write out the different numbers that go along with each letter of your word. I'm going to write the binary code for the word jolly. Once you've written out your binary code for your word, you're going to need to decide what color bead you want each 0 and each 1 to represent. For mine, each red bead is going to represent a 1, and each green bead is going to represent a 0. Each white bead is going to represent a space. Once you've written out your binary code and chosen what color beads are going to represent a 1 and a 0, it's time to get our pipe cleaners ready. For your pipe cleaners, there are a few different ways that you can get them ready. If you chose a shorter word like jolly, or a word that is 4 or 5 letters long, you can use 2 pipe cleaners and twist them together like this to create a fun design. If you chose a longer word, you'll need to twist your pipe cleaners together at the very ends around each other in their midsection. So you'll end up with a spiral just like this. Remember that whichever way you choose to tie your pipe cleaners together, they're going to be covered up by the beads, so we're not going to see the colors or the nice pattern that the spiral makes underneath of them. Once you have all of your beads sorted into their different colors and made sure that you have your binary code all written out, you can go ahead and start putting beads on your pipe cleaners. Remember, for my 0s, I'm going to be using green, and for my 1s, I'm going to be using red, and in between each letter, so after I finish a whole row, I'll put a white bead after it. After you've finished your first letter and placed the white bead, scoot all of your beads down to the very end of your pipe cleaners, leaving a little bit of space at the end so we can tie it off when we are finished. Once you have all of your beads on your pipe cleaners, make sure that you have enough at the ends to be able to tie them together. To tie them together, simply bend the pipe cleaners and then begin to twist those 2 ends together so they stay stuck together. And there we have our jolly binary code ornament. To give our ornament some more color, let's add a backing behind all this space. So I'm going to get the 4H paper that we saw before and just lay my ornament in the middle of the paper wherever I would like it. And it doesn't have to be 4H paper like this. You can use a family photo or maybe a picture from a book or a magazine of something that you really like. Once you have your ornament placed where you would like it on the photo, take your pencil and trace around the inside of your ornament. Try to make sure not to let your ornament bend too much so that we can get a nice shape around everything that we can cut out. Now that we've drawn a line around the inside of our ornament, we're going to take our glue and put just a nice line of glue around the outside of that line. Once you have your glue around that outside line of our pencil marking, take your ornament and place it right on top of the glue to glue it to the paper or the picture or whatever you chose to put your ornament on. Make sure to push it down against the paper so that it gets stuck in the glue. Once you've pressed your ornament onto the piece of paper or your picture, allow it some time for the glue to dry and for your ornament to stick to your photo or the paper. Once the glue has dried around our ornament, we're going to take our scissors and cut around the outside of our beads to remove the excess paper or photo. Once you've allowed the glue to dry all the way around your ornament, Take the last pipe cleaner and poke it through at the very top of your ornament. We'll use this pipe cleaner to make the hook for us to hang our ornament on the tree. And there we have our completed ornament. I think mine goes very nicely on the tree here at the Extension office.